expand. The optics of the tank will also be improved. In April 2015, Weldum Suntech claimed that tungsten, wolfram, rounds used in Leopard 2 cannot penetrate the Russian T-90 or the modelized version of the T-80. They also stated that the German military will develop a new improved round, but it will be exclusively developed for the Leopard 2A7. In 2015, Rheinmetall disclosed that it was developing a new 130mm, 5.1 in, smoothbore gun for the Leopard 2 tank and its successor. This gun will offer a 50% increase in performance and penetration. Marketing for the new gun was slated to begin in 2016. Replacement, edit. The Leopard 2 first entered service in 1979, and its service life is anticipated to end around 2030. In May 2015, the German Ministry of Defense announced plans to develop a tank jointly with France as a successor to both the Leopard 2 and Leclerc tanks. Technologies and concepts will be investigated to determine what capabilities are needed in a future tank. Deployment of the new tank, titled Main Ground Combat System, MGCS, will be preceded by incremental upgrades to the Leopard 2, including a new digital turret core system and situational awareness system and an active protection system, APS. A short-term lethality increase will come from a higher pressure 120mm, 4.7 in, gun firing new ammunition, expected to deliver 20% better performance than the L/55. Mid-term efforts will focus on a Rheinmetall 130mm, 5.1 in, cannon concept offering 50% better armor penetration. With the Russian T-14 Armata being equipped with the Afghanet, an active protection system designed to mitigate the effectiveness of ATGM, more importance is being placed on direct-fire weapons. Design, edit. Protection, edit. The Leopard 2 uses spaced multi-layer armor throughout the design. The armor consists of a combination of steel plates of different hardness, elastic materials, and other non-metallic materials. Steel plates with high hardness and high ductility are used. The armor is a result of extensive research about the formation and penetration mechanism of shaped charge jets. The Leopard 2's armor might be based on the British Burlington armor, which had already been demonstrated to West Germany in 1970. Later, in the mid-1970s, full details about Burlington were handed over to the West German government. The frontal arc of the Leopard 2's armor is designed to withstand large-caliber kinetic energy penetrators and shaped charge projectiles. During the 1980s, it was estimated that the Leopard 2's front would resist 125mm, 4.9 in, armor-piercing fin-stabilized discarding sabot, APFS, rounds fired from a distance of 1,500 m, 4,900 feet. The Leopard 2A4's armor has a maximum physical thickness of 800 mm, 31 in, based on unofficial measurements and estimates made by former conscripts and professional soldiers of the German army. On the Leopard 2A5 and subsequent models, the thickness is increased by the wedge-shaped armor module to 1,500 mm, 59 in. The side and the rear of the tank protect against heavy machine guns, medium-caliber rounds, and older types of tank ammunition. The side of the hull is covered by armor skirts to increase protection against projectiles and rocket-propelled grenades, RPGs. The frontal third of the hull sides is covered by heavy ballistic skirts, while the rest of the hull sides is covered by steel-reinforced rubber skirts. For increased protection against mines, the sides of the hull floor are sloped by 45 degrees and the floor is reinforced with corrugations. Secondary protection, edit. The Leopard 2's design follows the concept of compartmentation. Possible sources of fire or explosions have been moved away from the crew. In the turret, the ammunition and the hydraulics are located in compartments separated from the crew. In case of a detonation, the blow-off panels on the compartment roofs will direct the explosion and fire away from the crew. The crew is also protected against nuclear, biological and chemical, NBC, threats, as the Leopard 2 is equipped with a Dragger NBC over-pressurization system, which provides up to 4 HPA overpressure inside the vehicle. Two groups of 4 women 76mm, 3.0 in, smoke mortars are mounted on either side of the turret and can be electrically fired either as single rounds or in salvos of 4. They are mounted on most Leopard 2 models, with the exception of Dutch Leopard 2s, which are equipped instead with a Dutch-designed smoke mortar system with 6 barrels on each side. Swedish Stridsvagn 122 utilizes French Galax smoke dispensers, similar to the system found on the French Leclerc. The Leopard 2 is equipped with a fire protection system. 4 9 kilograms, 20 pound, Halen fire extinguisher bottles are installed on the right behind the driver's station. The bottles are connected to pipes and hoses and are activated automatically by the fire detection system when temperatures rise above 82 degrees Celsius, 180 degrees Fahrenheit, inside the fighting compartment, or manually via a control panel in the driver's compartment. An extra 2.5 kilograms, 5.5 pound, Halen fire extinguisher is stored on the floor beneath the main gun. Armor upgrades, edit. Following Leopard 2's introduction into service in 1979, the armor has been gradually improved over the years. A modified version of spaced multilayer armor was introduced beginning with the 97th vehicle of the 6th production batch. The same batch also introduced an improved type of heavy ballistic skirts. The Leopard 2A5 upgrade focused on increased armor protection. While upgrading a Leopard 2 tank to the Leopard 2A5 configuration, the roof covering the armor modules is cut open and new armor modules are inserted. New additional armor modules made of laminated armor cover the frontal arc of the turret. They have a distinctive arrowhead shape and improve protection against both kinetic penetrators and shaped charges. The side skirts also incorporate improved armor protection. A 25mm, 0.98 in, thick spall liner reduces the danger of crew injuries in case of armor penetration. The Leopard 2A7 features the latest generation of passive armor and belly armor providing protection against mines and IEDs. The Leopard 2A7 is fitted with adapters for mounting additional armor modules or protection systems against RPGs. For urban combat, the Leopard 2 can be fitted with different packages of modular armor. The Leopard 2A4M can, Leopard 2 PSO, Peace Support Operations, and the Leopard 2A7 can mount thick modules of composite armor along the flanks of the turret and hull, while slat armor can be adapted at the vehicle's rear. The armor modules provide protection against the RPG-7, which depending on the warhead can penetrate between 280mm, 11 in, and 600mm, 24 in, of steel armor. The Leopard 2A6M can increases protection against rocket-propelled grenades, RPGs, by including additional slat armor. Additional armor packages have been developed by a number of different companies. IBD Eisenroth has developed upgrades with mexas and advanced modular armor protection, AMAP, composite armor. The latter is being used on Singaporean and Indonesian Leopard 2 tanks. RUAG has developed an armor upgrade utilizing their Sidepro ATR composite armor. This upgrade was first presented on the IAV 2013. The Leopard 2A4M and 2A6M add an additional mine protection plate for the belly, which increases protection against mines and IEDs. On the 22nd of February, 2021, the German Defense Ministry agreed to acquire Trophy, an active protection system of Israeli design. 17 German Army tanks will be fitted with the system, with integration planned to be completed in 2023. Armor Protection Estimates, edit. Estimated levels of protection for the Leopard 2 range from 590 to 690 mm, 23 to 27 in, RHA on the turret, 600 mm, 24 in, RHA on the glacis and lower front hull on the Leopard 2A4, 29 29 40 mm, 36-37 in, RHA on the turret, 620 mm, 24 in, RHA on the glacis and lower front hull on the Leopard 2A6 against kinetic projectiles. According to a description page hosted by the Federation of American Scientists, the armor of the Leopard 2A4 is believed to provide protection equivalent to 700 mm, 28 in, armor steel, RHA, against kinetic energy penetrators and 1000 mm, 39 in, RHA against shaped charge warheads. Armament, edit. Primary, edit. The primary armament for production versions of the Leopard 2 is the Rheinmetall 120 mm, 4.7 in, smoothbore gun. The same gun later adapted for use on the M1 Abrams, in either the L/44 variant, found on all production Leopard 2s until the A5, or the L/55 variant, as found on the Leopard 2A6 and subsequent models. Ammunition for the gun comprises 27 rounds stored in a special magazine in the forward section of the hull, to the left of the driver's station, with an additional 15 rounds stored in the left side of the turret bustle, which is separated from the fighting compartment by an electrically operated door. If the turret's ammunition storage area is hit, a blow-off panel in the turret roof would direct an explosion upwards away from the crew compartment. However, 27 other rounds stored in the forward section of the hull, to the left of the driver's station, don't have this protection. They were cause to catastrophic secondary explosions if the hull were hit. This is a weakness of the Leopard 2's design. The gun is fully stabilized, and can fire a variety of types of rounds, such as the German DM-43 APFST anti-tank round, which is said to be able to penetrate 450 mm, 18 in, of steel armor at a range of 2,000 meters, 2,200 yard, and the German DM-12 high-explosive anti-tank, heat. For the L/55 gun, a newer APFST round was introduced to take advantage of the longer barrel, the DM-53, which is said to be able to penetrate up to 750 mm, 30 in, of RHA armor at a range of 2,000 m, 6,600 feet. The bore evacuator and the gun's thermal sleeve of the A4 and A5, designed to regulate the temperature of the barrel, are fabricated from glass-reinforced plastic. The barrel has a chrome lining to increase barrel life. The main gun is capable of power elevating from +20 degrees to 9 degrees. Rheinmetall has developed an upgrade for Leopard 2 tanks to give them the ability to fire the Israeli Leopard anti-tank guided missile through the main gun. The missile can engage targets out to a range of 6,000 meters, 20,000 feet. Secondary, edit. The Leopard 2 is equipped with 2 machine guns, one mounted coaxially, the other on an anti-aircraft mount. German models use the MG 37.62 mm, 0.3 in, machine gun. Dutch and Singaporean models use FN Mag 7.62 mm, 0.3 in, machine guns. Swiss models use Swiss MG87 7.5 mm, 0.295 in machine guns. 4,750 rounds of machine gun ammunition are carried on board the Leopard 2, of which 2,000 rounds are carried for the coaxial machine gun. More recent variants such as the Leopard 2A7 Plus are capable of mounting a remotely controlled weapons station fitted with a Browning M2HB heavy machine gun, near the commander's hatch. Fire control, edit. The standard fire control system found on the Leopard 2 is the German EMS-15 fire control system with a dual magnification stabilized primary sight. The primary sight has an integrated neodymium yttrium aluminium garnet NDYAG laser rangefinder and a 120-element mercury cadmium telluride, HGCD, also known as CMT, Zeiss thermographic camera, both of which are linked to the tank's fire control computer. A backup 8x auxiliary telescope for OZ-18 is mounted coaxially for the gunner. The commander has an independent periscope, the Rheinmetall /Zeiss Peri R17A2. This is a stabilized panoramic periscope sight designed for day/night observation and target identification. It provides an all-round view with a traverse of 360 degrees. The thermal image from the commander's periscope is displayed on a monitor inside the tank. Initial production tanks were not equipped with a thermal sight, due to the sight not being ready, and instead temporarily substituted the PZB-200 low-light TV system, LLTV. The fire control suite is capable of providing up to 3 range values in 4 seconds. The range data is transmitted to the fire control computer and is used to calculate the firing solution. Because the laser rangefinder is integrated into the gunner's primary sight, the gunner is able to read the digital range measurement directly. The maximum range of the laser rangefinder is up to 10,000 m, 33,000 feet, with a measuring accuracy within 10 m, 33 feet, at this range. The combined system allows the Leopard 2 to engage moving targets at ranges of up to 5,000 m, 16,000 feet, whilst itself being on the move over rough terrain. Propulsion, edit. The Leopard 2 is propelled by the MTU MB873 KA501 engine. It provides 1,500 PS, 1.1 MW, at 2,600 RPM and 4,700 Nm. 3,500 pound-foot, of torque at 1,700 RPM. The MTU MB873 KA501 is a 4-stroke, 47.7-litre, 90 degrees V-block 12-cylinder, twin-turbocharged and intercooled, liquid-cooled diesel engine, with multi-fuel capability. It has an estimated fuel consumption rate of around 300 liters per 100 kilometers on roads and 500 liters per 100 kilometers across the country, and is coupled to the Renk HSWL 354 gear and brake system. The Renk HSWL 354 transmission has 4 forward and 2 reverse gears, with a torque converter, and is completely automatic, with the driver selecting the range. The Leopard 2 has 4 fuel tanks, which have a total capacity of approximately 1,160 L, 260 imp gal, 310 US gal, giving a maximum road range of about 500 kilometers, 310 mi. The propulsion pack is capable of driving the tank to a top road speed of 68 kilometers per hour. 42 miles per hour, limited to 50 kilometers per hour, 31 miles per hour, during peacetime by law, and a top reverse speed of 31 kilometers per hour, 19 miles per hour. The power pack can be changed in the field in 35 minutes. The engine and transmission are separated from the crew compartment through a fireproof bulkhead. An enhanced version of the Euro Power Pack, with a 1650 PS, 1.2 MW, MTU mount 883 engine has been trialled by the Leopard 2. The Leopard 2 has a torsion bar suspension and has advanced friction dampers. The running gear consists of 7 dual rubber-tired road wheels and 4 return rollers per side, with the idler wheel at the front and drive sprocket at the rear. The tracks are dial 570F tracks, with rubber bushed end connectors, which have removable rubber pads and use 82 links on each track. For use in icy ground, up to 18 rubber pads can be replaced by the same number of grousers, which are stored in the vehicle's bow when not in use. The upper part of the tracks are covered with side skirts. The Leopard 2 can drive through water 4 meters, 13 feet, deep using a snorkel or 1.2 meters, 3 feet 11 in, without any preparation. It can climb vertical obstacles over 1 meter high. The German army has prioritized mobility in the Leopard 2, which has made it one of the fastest MBTs in the world. Ukrainian forces have said that the Leopard 2 tank is only slightly louder than a diesel van. This lack of noise, they claim, gives them a tactical advantage during an ambush. One Ukrainian commander estimated that Russian forces only heard the Leopard 2 from 200 m, 660 feet, during an ambush, compared to 2-3 km, 1.2-1.9 mi, for their older Soviet-era tanks. Exports, edit. Germany has fielded about 2,125 Leopard 2 main battle tanks in various versions, but many were sold following German reunification. The Leopard 2 became very popular in the 1990s, when the shrinking German army offered many of its redundant Leopard 2s at a reduced price. It became successful enough in Europe that the manufacturer started calling it the Euro Leopard, despite France, Britain, and Italy all operating their own MBTs. With further non-European orders, the name Global Leopard is now used instead. Leopard 2 tanks have also been resold by original export customers, although re-import has always been conditional on consent from the German government, who control the platform's export license. Other countries have bought newly manufactured vehicles or have produced them locally under license. Europe, edit. The Netherlands ordered 445 Leopard 2 tanks on the 2nd of March, 1979, after examining the results of the Leopard 2 AV in the United States. It became the first export customer of the Leopard 2, and the vehicles were delivered between July 1981 and July 1986. Dutch Leopard 2 tanks have been subsequently exported to Austria, Canada, Norway, and Portugal. Leopard 2 tanks remaining in Dutch service have been upgraded to 2A5 and 2A6 standards. The Swiss Army decided to purchase Leopard 2 tanks over the M1A1 Abrams after trialling both tanks between August 1981 and June 1982. The Swiss decision was made in August 1983 and the funding was approved by the government in 1984. 35 of the tanks were delivered by Krauss Mafia by June 1987. Genesis Konstruktionswerkstatt Thun started license production of 345 additional vehicles in December 1987. After investigating the option of a locally developed replacement for the STRV 103 tank, Sweden decided to buy a foreign tank model. The Leopard 2 improved, Leopard 2A5 prototype, won the competition against the M1A2 Abrams and the French Leclerc. The Swedish military also evaluated the Soviet T-80U tank, but separately from the other tanks. After intensive tests from January to June 1994, the Swedish military opted for the Leopard 2. The Swedish military found that the Leopard 2 improved met their military demands by 90%. The M1A2 met the Swedish requirements by 86%, whereas the Leclerc met 63%. In June 1994, Sweden ordered the production of 120 modified Leopard 2A5, to be known as Stridsvagn 122, STRV 122, in Swedish service. The STRV 122 features Swedish-developed applique armor, a new command system, and improved electronics. Of the 120 STRV 122, 29 were manufactured in Germany by Krauss Mafia women, while the other 91 were manufactured by the Swedish firms Bofors and Hägglunds. The first Stridsvagn 122 was delivered in December 1996. These remain in Swedish service and have received periodic upgrades. Sweden also leased a total of 160 Leopard 2A4 tanks in 1994 and 1995, known in Swedish service as Stridsvagn 121, STRV 121, as a stopgap measure while the STRV 122 were being delivered. The first STRV 121 was delivered in February 1994. The STRV 121 fleet was removed from active service in 2002 as a result of the Defense Act of 2000 and mothballed by 2006. While most of the STRV 121 tanks were returned to Germany, 18 were kept by Sweden as training aids, 6 have since been converted into AEV-3 Kodiak armored engineering vehicles, and a further 6 have been converted into Legion armored bridge layers. Denmark bought 51 ex-German Leopard 2A4 tanks after the Danish military school, the Herrens Kampskole, recommended basing the adoption of a new tank on the Swedish Army trials. The first tanks were delivered in 1998, but the upgrade to Leopard 2A5 level was already decided the next year. In 2004 to 2006, the Danish Army bought another 6 ex-German Leopard 2 tanks. In 1998, Greece held a competition to determine the main battle tank for the Hellenic Army. The Leopard 2 improved managed to outperform the Challenger 2E, Leclerc, M1A2 Abrams, T-80U, and T-84 and was chosen by the Greek officials. In March 2003, Greece ordered 170 Leopard 2 tanks, of which 140 were locally assembled. Greece also bought 183 Leopard 2A4 and 150 Leopard 1 tanks. Spain initially leased 109 Leopard 2A4 tanks, after Krauss Mafia withdrew from the Linz development, a special lighter version of the Leopard 2 developed together with Santa Barbara Sistemas. Before the end of the Linz tank, Spain had already rejected the M1A1 Abrams and the Vickers Valiant. After deciding to purchase the leased tanks, Santa Barbara Sistemas acquired the license to locally produce 219 Leopard 2A6 tanks for the Spanish Army. Poland received 128 Leopard 2A4 tanks from German Army stocks in 2002. In 2013, Poland ordered a further 119 ex-German Leopard 2s. Finland bought 124 used Leopard 2A4 tanks and 6 armored bridge layer Leopard 2L tanks from Germany in 2002 and 2003. The tanks served as replacements for the old Soviet-made T-55 and T-72M1. The Netherlands resold 114 of their tanks, and 1 turret, to Austria, 80 to Canada in 2007, 52 to Norway, 37 to Portugal and 100 to Finland. In December 2018, Hungary placed an order for 44 Leopard 2A7 plus S and 12 second-hand 2A4S. The order coincided with the procurement of 24 Panzerhaubitze 2000, and was expected to replace Hungary's current fleet of T-72 tanks no sooner than 2020. In February 2023, the Norwegian Prime Minister, Jonas Gahr Støre, announced that Norway would be ordering 54 new Leopard 2A7 tanks at a cost of 19.7 billion crowns, with a further option for 18 vehicles to be delivered at a later date. The first Leopard 2A7s are due to be delivered by 2026, and operational by 2030.